Welcome to Drone Mechanics tutorial. I think this will be a very interesting tutorial. I actually had no idea how deep it can go. There are quite a few intricacies on how the system works, and it's not simple. If you are a newer player, you probably had a scene like this. Well, we have unit out and it's unhappy. Well, that's nasty. Cannot even fix it, look at this. I'll just let it riot one turn. I will try to explain it in some depth, but that it's still understandable and not too deep, because it's like a rabbit hole you could spend hours trying to understand everything. The guide is the result of my knowledge and my discussions with developers of Tinker and Will to Power mod, and it will work for Tinker mod 4.7 version and vanilla as well. I think if you're a new player, you can learn a ton here and it should be interesting, and if you're an advanced player, you can probably find something that you missed as well. First, I will go quickly through drone riots and how they start, and then we'll go into details. How do we get the drones and how to fix the drones, and I'll show you some game examples. So here on the first slide, we have just a simple drone riot that happens when you have drones. Even one is enough. Next turn, this base will riot, and then you have to fix it, otherwise you cannot produce anything. Moving to second screen, this is the way how you can actually fix the base, one of the ways. So if you put any specialist here, including this doctor, then you have all the citizens, no drones, and this base will not riot. And the third one in basics is this. So besides drones and citizens, you also have talents. We have single talent and a single drone, that's a doctor as well. And this base will actually not riot because this talent will cancel out this drone. So in the end, you can have a stable base with a drone in it, as long as you have enough talents to cancel out drones. On the basic level, this is it what you need to know for drone riots. It's quite simple. And now I'll show you how things work a bit behind the scene. Almost everything that you need to know about drones and drone riots is displayed in this screen. This screen is gold mine of information, and we'll go through it through the rest of this guide. For start here, I want you to start looking at the base, drones and this screen through the lens of Psych points. What you need to know is that the game is keeping like the total Psych points for any base and resulting sum of those points if 0 or positive. Consider 0 as all citizens and positive as when you have talents. So if net psych is 0 or positive, base will be working fine, no drone riots. If you do end up with negative psych, like in this example we have 2 drones against 1 talent, the base will go and riot. The game will calculate psych points for each base in these steps: psych, facilities, police, secret projects, and we also have pacifism drones like a special case. And through resolving these steps, you in the end get to this base screen. One important thing that you need to realize here is that the order of these steps is very important, and we will be discussing that in the guide. So Psych and Psych Slider go first. They try to fix all the drones, so you can see these are all red. Once they manage to fix some or not, the facilities come in, then they try to fix the thing. Then police after that works, and then you have secret projects like Human Genome Project. Each of these steps add Psych points. And for example, here in this base, I intentionally put Psych to 20%, so we get 5 points. And spot here, these 2 drones, they were fixed by those 5 points, so they were super drones, that's double red. I know they should have chosen the better icons, but it is what it is, you get used to it. Super drones are evil drones. In order for Citizen to change his mood from super drone to drone, you need 2 Psych points. And then if you want to fix a drone to citizen, like facilities do here, you need extra 2 points. And then in the end, some of the facilities and some secret projects add extra psych points to convert citizen into talent. If you find this confusing a bit, don't worry, we'll go step by step through it and explain each of these 5 steps. Before trying to fix drones and the problems they cause, let's try to figure out how do we actually get drones, what are drone sources, and then we'll better understand the issue with them and how to fix them. It turns out that actually there are only 3 different sources of drones in the game, so it's not that complicated. It's just that the game does not actually display it to user nicely, like these modern games that have pop-ups and the nested pop-ups in it with all the explanations. Here you need to like read wiki data links or look the guides. The first source from which you get drones is from difficulty. We will go in more details on the next slide, but in general, higher the difficulty, more drones you get. So then the second one is bureaucracy. This is like quite convoluted mechanism of giving you extra drones because you expand too much, and it's the game's way of trying to slow down your expansion rate. The third source of drones is pacifism, and it's not exactly connected with like war weariness in civilization games, although it kind of simulates it. And here it means that if you use social engineering options like free market, which is peaceful one, it doesn't actually allow you to move military units outside of your territory, and if you do that you will get drones. We'll also take a look a bit at that. Let's go now through each of these. Difficulty is easy to explain. When you start the game, you know you can choose your difficulty. It's between these, citizen up to transcend. Depending on your choice, in game you get number of free citizens in your bases. This practically means, let's say for transcend difficulty, if your base grows to population 2, that the second citizen will be drawn and the base will immediately riot and go into disorder. Just couple of difficulty levels of difference means that your bases can grow 2 citizens more and gather much more resources before going into the red. And when playing the game on higher difficulties, it's crucial to manage your citizens well. This is not the only effect of difficulty on drones. Difficulty also acts in bureaucracy mechanics. For completion with these drone and citizens roles, let's mention 3 exceptions. So the drones faction or the Mai, they have a bonus that they have one less drone in each base, which turns like this. So instead of 1 citizen and 1 drone, they get a second citizen instead, and then only on population 3 they get their first drone. That's pretty nice early game advantage. Then we get to Zakharov. Zakharov is actually punished. He is getting 1 extra drone every 4 citizen. He even loses this 1 citizen that he had for free. He loses it when the base reaches 4 population. And this is quite a big penalty for him actually. This is one of the serious weaknesses of University and Zakharov. And there is Lal and Peacekeepers. Contrary to Zakharov, he actually gets a talent, and he gets it immediately as a first citizen. And then he also gets a talent every 4 citizens. At 5 population, he has 1 talent and then 1 citizen. It's not a talent because it's the way the Psych works. We will talk about it. In this aspect, he is much stronger than Zakharov, for example. Now we get to the bureaucracy, which is a bit convoluted and harder to explain, so bear with me. The idea of this mechanic in Alpha Centauri is that it slows down a player, so when you keep adding new bases, in general you get bases like this at 2 population. This is for transcend difficulty. You can get 1 citizen and the other one is drone, so there are base limits of how many bases you can have, and when you reach that number, which is for I think standard map transcend difficulty, it's 6 bases that we have here. You will have this standard outlay of 1 citizen and 1 drone, but when you add the 7th base, Morgan Metallurgy here in my case, one of these 6 bases will get extra drone, and that is pictured here at the bottom. This Morgan Manufacturing will actually have 2 drones. No healthy citizens, which actually means it's completely paralyzed until you fix the drones. It looks pretty harsh, and it is. Once you know this, you should measure your expansion a bit and decide when to expand if you don't want one of your cities to have drone problems. When exactly will you start getting these extra drones? It's hard to tell, and I'll show you the formula. So this is the formula given in Wiki. For bureaucracy, you can find it at advanced concepts. It says the base limit, that is the number of bases which you can have before you get extra drones, is 8 minus difficulty times 4 plus efficiency times map route divided by 2. Now you can already see at this that it's a mess. Let's just say it's a mess. Difficulty level is 0 to 5. efficiency is social engineering that you have in your game on SE screen. And then map routing is basically the size of the map. So they take square root of number of squares, which nobody knows. And it says here, for each base a faction builds in excess of this number, one additional drone will appear at some base somewhere in the colony. And this is the key, some base somewhere in the colony, and it's practically almost impossible to actually know which of the bases will get extra drone. To decipher this formula a bit, you can notice that the higher the difficulty level is, the base limit is lower. Not much you can do about it except play on a lower difficulty if you find this mechanic too harsh for you. Then efficiency rating matters, and it doesn't matter too much, I think. I didn't get to the exact numbers, but obviously plus efficiency will increase the base limit, minus efficiency will lower it. And depending on this map route square thing, you can like save yourself couple of drones, 2, 3, 4, I don't know, maybe even 5, depending on how many bases you have. If you go to positive efficiency, and then going into negative efficiency will actually create you more drones. And in general, negative efficiency in Alpha Centauri is awful. It really kills your energy output. So in the end, what you really want in the game is, as soon as you develop a bit and grow near mid-game, you want efficiency to be positive, and the higher you can get, the better. It will fix your economy, give you more energy, save your energy, and then it will also help you somewhat with the drones. For example, on transcend difficulty on standard map, you can build 6 bases, I think, and then a 7th one will cause you drones, but the game will tell you this, so you don't have to worry about this. On smaller maps, you can build less bases. On larger maps, the limit is larger. I think that's enough to know about the formula. So once you know about that formula, you can see here that adding an extra city will create the drones somewhere. And this is what this checklist here is for. From what I found from knowledgeable people on Discord and the developers, it seems that internally the game keeps the list of all bases, and it appears that it's not just our bases, which is confusing to me, but whatever. Once you go over this base limit that bureaucracy allows you, the game then decides that it adds an extra drone to the every 5th base on the list. For example, this one that we will have X, and then if we had 10 bases, it would add here as well 1X. You cannot really know which bases is 5th on the list, but one of these will get the extra drone. And then if you keep adding bases, then the game will add also the drone to every 4th base. So you'll get like a drone here. And I think by this logic, if you actually have 8 bases, you will get 2 drones maybe in your empire on 2 different bases, if they happen to be 4th on the list. I'm not completely sure about that. But as you keep expanding in the game and conquering enemy bases, pretty much all of the bases will have axes. And eventually, as you keep adding bases, you will end with something like this. All your bigger bases will have all your base citizens as drones, right? And even the new bases that you add will start with a drone. Don't worry about this, it's just the way the game works. So it's good to know how it works, because when you look at the game screen, that you don't get surprised. This is all fixable by properly using facilities, secret projects, specialists, police units, and everything that the game offers you. Now there is another interesting question here. So what happens if you keep adding and adding more bases? Can you turn this red drone into something even worse? And the answer is yes. Here you can see what we call super drones. Focus on the first row. These super drones, you can count them basically as 2 drones stacked into one, so they are very angry. And to deal with them, you need double the Psych amount. So in general, you need 2 Psych to convert a drone into a citizen. But to convert this super drone into a citizen, you would need to spend 4 Psych points. Although there are means of converting even super drones straight into citizens, and we'll talk about it. Just a quick note here, it doesn't matter if the drone is a man or a woman. Like here you can see that here we have both. It just matters that it has this like extra red layer. They are a bit harder to spot on the screen, but You can see it if you focus. The third way to get drones is pacifism, and I'll show you this way using this screenshot. You can get these pacifism drones if you tank your police rating, and that's usually what you get when you enact free market. And then you get -5 police, and that gives you extra 2 drones if you move your unit out of the borders. Here I moved this cruiser ship, and you can see this third row here, that's you extra 2 drones. This is especially nasty because it acts after facilities, and you don't have police because you tank your police rating. So whatever you fix with facilities or with Psych here will get broken again by pacifism here later. Now when we know what causes drones and drone riots, let's see actually how we can fix them. And there are like 5 ways at least how you can fix them. And there are Psych, then building facilities like recreation commons, holo theaters. Then you can use police units. This is very strong. Fourth option is secret projects. There are a couple of secret projects. They are not great, to be honest, but it's good if you can get them, of course. And the fifth way is using specialists, and this is not only a specialist that give you Psych, they can do as well, but you can also fix drones with specialists like librarians and technicians, which is a bit weird, but works pretty nicely. Let's try to explain Psych. Psych or Psych slider is one of the ways that can help you fix the drones. And what it's doing is basically converting the energy of your base that you have into Psych points, as you can see here. So this base has 21 energy, and I set the slider to 40%, which converts this 21 energy into Psych. That's total of 8 energy, and then we also have some bonuses from facilities. We'll talk about that later. And we end up with 14 energy, after which this energy is invested into Psych, and in base citizen screen you can see how the Psych will convert these red drones into talents and citizens. Here you need to know that 2 Psych points are needed to convert a drone or a citizen from one level to another, and then they are like tiered like this. To convert super drone to drone, it takes 2 Psych. Then the next step is to convert drone to citizen, that's another +2, and then you can convert citizen to talent with additional +2 energy, or if you look at it this way, it takes a total of +6 Psych to convert super drone into talent, for example. Or it just takes 2 Psych to convert a drone into citizen, which is usually enough. Or if you want to convert a drone into talent, then you would need 4 Psych. In our sample case here, we invest 14 Psych, and the way it works is that it goes from left to right, and the first fix is all super drones. So it will go and find this super drone, and it will spend 2 Psych and convert it into drone. Then we are left with 12 more Psych, and then it uses total of 4 Psych to convert drone into talent, then 4 again, that's 8. And then it converts this drone into citizen, that's 2. So that's total of 10, and here 2, 12. And then it's left off with 2 Psych, and then you would expect this extra 2 Psych to convert citizen into talent. So we should end up with 3 talents. First I thought it was a bug, then I actually remembered. There is a cap, and the cap is the number of Psych points that you can invest into Psych in a base is 2 times base size. Since this is 6 population base, you can invest 12 energy into Psych. That's why our last 2 points are not actually converting the citizen into talent. That is behavior of a vanilla game, and the Tinker mod actually changed it a bit, so it made a soft cap. So once you go over the cap, so over 12 energy in our case for 6 population base, you can continue converting citizens or drones into talents, but it's more expensive, and after the cap, the first citizen, the first conversion is worth 4 points. So I didn't do it here, but we'll take a look at the game. If I had +2 more energy, this guy here would become a talent. And then after that, I think it grows even higher. So it's not +4 energy to convert the next one, but I think it's +8, and then it's probably +16. So it is a soft cap, but it grows rapidly. So you cannot actually like convert all of the citizens unless you have obscene amount of energy, which you will not, I think. I think this mechanic is here basically to stop you from converting everything into talents, in which case you would trigger golden ages, maybe too easily, and then you could use population boom strategies to, I don't know, catapult your cities into stupid sizes. I will show you this now quickly, how to work in a practical game. So here I have university base, and you can see on Psych screen I have 6 citizens. One of them is super drone, and the base is unhappy, so it will riot. We need to fix this. Here we can ignore this, I guess, but I have several of these facilities, and then they are fixing drones. So here, for example, in this case, I would need just only to turn this drone into citizen, and the base would stop rioting. You can open social engineering with E key, and I'll change the psych to 10%. And if we go to the base, we can see that this 10% is enough to get 4 points in psych, thanks to our facilities. 10% of 21 is 2. That's the base psych that we get, and then we get bonuses from our facilities. So what happens here is that 2 energy is spent to fix this super drone into drone, and then the extra 2 energy is spent to convert this drone into citizen. Here you can actually note that this 2 psych is basically wasted because facility would fix the citizen anyway, drone into citizen. And that is actually wasteful part of psych, because psych goes first and fixes everything it can before we act with police, facilities, and super projects. Psych is fixing lots of things that it doesn't need to fix. It is what it is, like you cannot do much about it. It is also wasted more on a global scale. So for example, in base like this, you can see that facilities already fix all the drones, and then we invest 1 and +1 to psych, and then it's doing nothing. It's just wasted energy. And furthermore, unfortunately, sometimes it's simply not enough. For example, this base has 17 energy, and that is not enough. Here we get +2 base and then only +1 bonus, which is +3, and it's just not enough to fix this last drone. When I up the psych to 20%, you can see that we get the first drone. The citizen was converted to talent, drone to talent. I'll up it to 40. Now we have 2 talents and citizen, and this is the case from the screenshot I've shown you. I'll up it more to 60. Now actually it's enough to convert this to talent. We have 23, and so we have 3 talents, and I'll go to 100%. But now we hit the cap I mentioned. And for example, we still end up with only 3 talents, but we managed to fix another citizen here. But there is simply not enough energy in this base to convert anyone else. These are the basics of Psych and Psych Slider, and then we'll mention it a bit more as we go through facilities and police and super projects. After Psych, facilities are the second way to fix drones, and they are relatively simple to explain. They simply fix the numbers of drones they say in the description they will fix, and that's usually 1 or 2, and they will turn both drones and super drones instantly to citizens. No exceptions, no complicated rule, they just do this and they do it well. This is nice because it is safe and secure way to get citizens to work your tiles and get resources. And facilities are then also psych efficient because one facility, for example, like recreation commons that fixes 2 drones, can fix 4 points worth of psych, that's 2 drones, or 2 super drones, which are 8 points of psych. In this sense, facilities are better investment than psych to handle the drones. This is one example where we use facilities to deal with drones. For example, here we don't have any investment in Psych, otherwise that would be the second row. And then here we have Recreation Commons and Holo Theater via network nodes, we'll talk about that. And that is 2 times 2, that is 4 drones fixed. These are the first 4 drones, and then I also have here a research hospital, and it fixes 1 additional drone, so we have 5 drones fixed with facilities here. Now you don't have to guess the effects of these facilities. As you get them with text, you will get their descriptions, and then you get them one by one, and here I think I have listed them all. The first one you get, and you get it very early at Social Psych Tech, it's Recreation Commons. It's simply for 40 mineral cost and only 1 maintenance. It will fix your colony by 2 drones. This is the most efficient drone facility. You will build it in pretty much every base. And this one is not as good early, especially because it also fixes 2 drones, but it's 50% more expensive, so 60 minerals. It also has high maintenance of 3 energy, but it will give you actually Psych bonus of 50%, and that is huge. What this means is that this is actually quite good facility, but it's more like mid-game facility, which you want in a better basis, population 4, 5, or 6. And in the bases that have actually better yield. For example, this 3 maintenance is really not much if you can fix 2 citizens that work on 2 boreholes. One saving grace for this facility is that you can get the virtual world secret project that lets your network nodes act as hologram theaters, and then only by building a network node you also get all the theater packaged in, and you never have to pay these 3 maintenance. These are your 2 basic drone handling facilities, and they will fix 4 drones, and then with some investment of Psych, especially with using this 50% bonus, and maybe if you have police, even better, then you can probably get all your bases to population 6 or 7. Next in line is Research Hospital, and this one is like more rarely built. It also gives Psych bonus, but it fixes only 1 drone, although it has added bonus of labs at 50%. You build this one like in advanced bases when you want science, and then you fix drones. Then eventually late you get to Nano Hospital, and this is in a sense upgrade of Research Hospital, and it's very expensive also for maintenance, and you usually don't build this to handle drones. You may maybe invest this if you really want to have this 50% labs bonus. Now we get to a bit odd facilities. This one is Gene Jack Factory. It produces minerals. It actually increases the output of your bases by 50%, which is great, and you really want to have this one. But it comes with a penalty in a way that increases your drones in a base by 1. And this means that it will reduce the effect of one of your other facilities, so it will simply remove 1 drone that is fixed. So here, for example, you can see a screenshot of a base that has Gene Jack Factory. So we have here Recreation Commons, which fixes 1 drone and 1 super drone. Then Holo Theater, which fixes 1 super drone, and then there should be another one fixed. But we have it here back, and that is because that effect is removed by Gene Jack Factory. So this is quite a downside to otherwise very strong facility. Next, Punishment Sphere. This is very interesting. It's a strong facility that completely eliminates both drones and talents. So if you build this in your base, you will simply have peaceful base that can work all the tiles all the time. But the downside is that it reduces your labs by 50%. For completion, I have here Tree Farm and Hybrid Forests. These do not directly fix the drones, but they both add 50% bonuses to Psych. So coupled together, these two are excellent at fixing drones by using Psych. And lastly, Paradise Garden. It's quite expensive at 120 minerals and 4 maintenance. But this comes quite late in the game when you actually have bases which can produce 40 or 50 minerals. So you can get this in a couple of turns or just buy them directly. The description says that they give 2 talents, but it doesn't exactly work like this. So here in this base I'll show you the effect of Paradise Garden. We have no facilities that fix drones in this base, as you can see. And I will rush Paradise Garden.
Confirmation.
And when Paradise Garden is completed, you can see in facilities menu that we actually don't have a single citizen. What we have here is just red drones that were fixed from super drones, and that is a bit sad. So the facility is trying to convert a drone into a citizen and into talent, which costs 4 Psych, but it doesn't do it vertically. First it has to fix all super drones before it does that. So it basically spends all its Psych trying to fix super drones, and it does that. with the result being that it actually in the end it doesn't give any talents. If the case was that we had like 2 citizens here, then the facility would convert them into talents. But in a basis with lots of super drones, these talent giving facilities, and we'll see later, super projects are not as effective. Paradise Garden does come very late in the game, so you don't really have to worry about this. It's still good to have, so build it if you get it. Otherwise, focus on Recreation Commons, Holo Theater, and Research Hospital. These are great. That is everything I think we need to know about facilities, and now let's go to the police. Using police to handle drones is probably the most basic way to deal with drones. That's because most factions start with 0 police rating. You can see here all the specter of police rating effects. And by default, you can have 1 military unit as a police, and that unit is usually the one which fixes your first drone even before you have any facilities. Now, the police rating is very interesting and potentially very powerful. It has a large effect, and at the worst, usually if you use free market, you can have -5 police rating, or if you have certain bonus, +1, +2, you can end like with -4 or -3. In which case, you, instead of fixing drones, you actually get these nasty pacifism drones. You can get either 1 or 2, and I will show you in a minute how these look and how to fix them. But what is more interesting here for us is maybe this positive side, and it can be like crazy like this. It can fix 1, 2, 3. You can even double these. It can also fix 4 citizens, for example. And then if used to the maximum, you can fix actually up to 9 citizens with 3 police units. It is actually not hard to get, for example, to +2 police can use up to 3 military units as police. So you could use 3 military units and fix 3 citizens. And the great thing about the police is that it doesn't care about type of drones, be it a drone or a super drone, police unit will fix it. So 1 police can actually fix like a super drone that's for Psych, and you can use up to 3 units as a police, which would fix like 3 super drones, but it gets better than that. +2 is achievable if you just pick police state in social engineering, and that's like easy to do. But it comes with the downside. Actually, police state has that -2 efficiency, so it's a bit nasty for larger empires. If you can get to +3 police, which is not that easy, Spartans can do it easily, but other need some time to get to this level. You get this police effect doubled thing, and that one is awesome. That means that you can use these 3 military units as police, and then they will have double the effect, so they would fix 6 citizens. And there is a way how to actually get to these 9 as well. If you use police ability, that is if you use non-lethal methods, police ability, you can have any unit with this ability to have twice the police powers. I have here the example of 4 3R1 police unit, which has special ability non-lethal methods. So this unit will act as a double police unit, and that unit will fix double the amount of citizens, and you don't even have to have +3 police. It's great to have only +1 police. That's 2 military units as a police. With that ability could fix actually 4 citizens. Quite awesome. Non-lethal methods is available with intellectual integrity technology, which comes mid-game. It's not late, but it's not too early, so you need a bit of time to get this, but when you get it, I would advise you to use it. It's great. Here I have 2 more interesting things to mention you that you should know. Very late in the game you get brute pits, and this is interesting because it gives base +2 police rate. And this is, for example, nice tactic for Chadon, as he gets the police bonus with worms. And to the right here we have the ascetic virtues, which is a secret project which actually gives you +1 police rating, which is awesome to have. Here I have one last slide about police, which I want to show you before I show you in-game how it works. So some factions are better than the others in using police. For example, peacekeepers and Pravin Lal, he cannot use police state, so he has hard time achieving a good police effect. Then Deirdre and Rose, they get -1 police. It is still possible to use police units with both of them, it's just not as strong. On the right side we have Chadon. He gets this late, he's not a great example, but he gets free Brute Pit and then he can use Mind Worms to do double police duty. He can also do this before Brute Pits. So using Mind Worms to fix his drone issues. And this is actually like a nice ability because you can use cheap spore launchers to attack them in your bases and handle the drones. Young of the Hive, he's like a natural police user. He can use police state without getting inefficiency penalty. That's awful for all the other leaders. And in the end we have Santiago, and I will show you Santiago example from my game. She can use police quite well actually. That is because she has natural +1 police, and then if you use police state you can easily get to +3. So here we have late game Spartans with the game that I finished from my playthrough. And in a Sparta command here, first I'll show you engineering settings. So I'm using police state, that's +2 police. And then Santiago has +1, so we have +3. And that is police effect doubled. And we have here -2 efficiency, but we handle that with green economics, so that's +2. That cancels it out, and then I also use knowledge with plus efficiency. In a Sparta command, you can see here that police acts after facilities, so it's a third row here. And it works well with facilities because facilities fix the number of citizens, here in this case 4. And then my police will fix 9 citizens total, which is the most you can do. Note also that it easily fixes super drones. And these are our police units. Police 3 res garrison, 1 3R police. Lastly, here I want to show you how to deal with negative police. So here I'm using free market and cybernetics, so I actually have -7 police total, and then I get extra drones when I leave my territory. And in the base you will see like this special sign here, like these 2 red warning signs, which means that we have 2 pacifism drones like this. And I mentioned already these are particularly nasty because they come after facilities and you naturally don't have a police. So now if you want to make this base work at all, you have to do something. And the only thing that comes after this are super projects, which I don't have. So if you have a talent from super projects, you might maybe fix 1 citizen, but it wouldn't be enough. And then you can use Psych. So I bumped Psych to +40%, and that was enough. Psych can create talents, and it's a costly thing to do, but it's the way to fix pacifism drones. So these +2 talents will actually negate these +2 drones, and then that's the way how you can handle pacifism. In general, you don't want to do this, but if you have to do it, this is the way. Now on to secret projects. It is yet another way to fix drones, and they have the advantage that they come last in calculation. We have 2 good secret projects early, so the virtual world. It's like one of the most coveted projects. It will turn your network nodes into hologram theaters, which then will fix 2 drones for you. It's a secret project that gives you a free facility. So technically it's not in a secret projects drone fixing category, but I wanted to have it here. It's awesome to get, so if you can get it, go for it. On the other hand, the Human Genome Project, that's like the real secret project that fixes drones, and it does it by trying to give you an extra talent at every base. Now, if you have followed Facility section and Paradise Garden, there you know that this actually doesn't give you talent, but it tries to give you the talent. So if you have a citizen in a base that gets to this stage, to secret project stage, then the Human Genome Project will convert it to talent, as it says here. But if you end up with a super drone for whatever reason, then this secret project will actually try to fix super drones before getting to talent, and it will most likely not be able to actually create a talent. Nonetheless, this secret project is quite okay. It's a good project. and you can get it early, and it will create talents up to mid game, and then if you go heavy on bases, then it might have troubles to actually create talents. Here you can see actually the effect of a human genome project. So I have fixed these ton of drones with facilities and police. And then in the last row we have our secret project effects. And you can see that human genome project will convert this citizen into talent. This is also nice to have if you want to start golden ages, same as Paradise Garden. If you can get a couple of these talents and invest lots of psych, then you can actually trigger golden ages and maybe population booms. I created also this slide mostly for completion's sake. There are a couple of more secret projects that will handle drones in some way or the other, and then you can take a look through it. I will not go through them all. For example, telepathic matrix comes very late and it's practically broken. Drones never riot, so it's super OP, but you get it at the very end game. Then clinical immortality is 1 extra talent in every base and double your votes. This is like human genome project. And then you have these three, they are good as well. Self-aware colony actually has a police bonus, which is interesting. I could have added this into police section as well. Now let's get to the last section, and that is specialists. So lastly and finally we get to specialists. You do immediately get access to them at the beginning of the game, but you have only a doctor. Doctor gives you +2 psych, and then if you have a drone, you can just put the doctor in its place, and it will fix the base. I put them last because it's usually the last thing you want to do, to put a specialist instead of citizens. You usually want to build facilities or use police before, but even that is debatable. For example, you can use Psych to fix the drones before specialists, but often it's just better to use actually advanced specialist instead of trying to activate Psych slider. As I said, the doctor is pretty weak, he just gives +2 psych, but with the new technologies you get these technicians, then you get librarians, and they give technicians give a +3 energy, librarian gives +3 labs, and then you get engineers with fusion tech, I think, and they give a +3 econ and +2 labs. Now that's 5 energy, that's a lot, because this will get multiplied by network nodes, energy banks, and similar facilities, so it's awesome. It also ignores inefficiency penalties, so it makes plenty of sense to actually to fix a drone like this that we have here. So we have here a super drone that we couldn't fix with facilities, and we don't have police. So in this case, it's great to actually put a specialist in its place, and you don't have to use a doctor. Game will place a doctor by default, but that gives you only +2 psych. What you can do is you can instead switch something like engineer and actually get +5 total energy instead of a drone. And then you can use this on multiple drones if you had probably another engineer for extra 5 energy. Sometimes if the base is unhappy enough, you have to use doctors, but eventually you do get empaths, and these are like upgraded doctors. They give +2 econ and +2 psych, so they are a great replacement for a doctor. And then you can also get these are called thinkers. They give you +3 labs, +1 psych, and the +1 psych is often enough with facility bonuses if you have 3 farms, hybrid forests, and things. Then in those cases it can actually produce 2 psych and fix the citizen also. And as you can see on this screenshot, you can just switch even super drones with specialists. So it's a really nice way to actually fix drones if you have no other options. One last thing to know is that you get these advanced specialists in bases that have 5 or more population, so it's important to get to 5 population. The exception is empath, which actually replaces the doctor, so you can use empath even on small bases. So here in the game I can show you, for example, my 6 pop base. It has one super drone here, which I cannot fix like otherwise in any means. Then I could simply like switch here and use one engineer, and that will replace the super drone, and the base will be able to work nicely. As I said, by default game will place doctor in its place, but it's much better to use other specialists. For example, we are producing 8 bonus labs, but if I switch to engineer, I'm now producing 12, so it's quite a benefit to use these. That should be it for this guide. Thank you for watching. If you have any ideas or wishes for the next guides, please leave a comment. And of course, like and sub if you like the videos, it helps the channel nicely. Thanks once more.